Dr. Sulla here, and the worst thing that could happen to an offense is the people involved have an identity crisis. There is nothing worse to a high school offense than when the adults in the room have an identity crisis. When the head coach, the play caller, whoever the guy is making the decisions has an identity crisis. Because if you don't know the truth and who you are, you're going to have an identity crisis and you're going to break down. It's just like in life. If you don't know the truth and who you are, the devil's going to get you. Now you can say, well, why do you have to bring God into this? Well, God's in everything, so if you don't like it, get off this YouTube channel, because here we believe in Jesus Christ. But here's the thing about offensive football. You can't afford to have an identity crisis because it will kill you. It's hard enough to win when everything goes exact in your decision making and your process. It's hard enough to win. You have an identity crisis, you literally have no chance unless your players are so good they can overcome your identity crisis. So you have to know the truth and who you are. And that's why I fight so hard every single day to give you the data, to show you the things that matter, that get you closer to winning. That's why I fight the fight and tell you about Air Force and tell you what they did in 2022 and what they've done the last 4 years. And you can say, oh, he says the same thing over and over, because you need to know the truth so you don't have an identity crisis. I fight so hard for my clients to have an exact, precise identity. And I tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Because if I tell them what they want to hear, it could be untrue. And then when stuff goes wrong, they have to figure things out on their own. And before you know it, they don't have an identity. Look, if you want to have a true identity right now, you get under center, you run zone dive. If you get 4 yards, you run it again. If you don't get 4 yards on zone dive, it all comes down to what number one does. If number one doesn't take the dive, you're going to trap him, and there you go. If number one takes the dive and two takes the pitch, you run the down. If one takes the dive and two takes the quarterback, you're going to run mid-triple. If they blitz, you're going to toss the ball outside with the rocket toss. That's the truth in who Air Force is right now. If it's 3rd and long, 4th and long, got to score now, or somebody in the secondary flies up, they throw the ball. The truth is, they throw the ball 7 times a game. I want you to know the truth so you can have an identity. The truth gives you an identity. The worst thing you can have as an offensive coordinator, play caller, decision maker is an identity crisis. Because if you don't know the truth and who you are, you have no chance unless your players are so good they can overcome it. When I was a young coach, young, in my 20, 21 years old, I coached at a high school in New Jersey. And the head coach had an identity crisis because he listed the 7 different coaches because he was so overwhelmed that we went from being a literal Paul Johnson football team to doing everything. Running, shoot stuff, shotgun stuff, trying to run outside zone out of the eye. I lived through it. I lived through identity crisis. What happens is you don't get any better. And your players have to overcome it. And I don't want that happening to you. Now, you want to assure that you're going to get significantly better, you put your career in my hands. Because when you do the Triple Option Football Academy, you're going to know how to run Air Force's offense the right way the first time. You do a Triple Option Football Academy camp, you're going to get the academy, but then you're going to get me out there for 3 days, installing, play calling, practicing, and persisting with you for 3 days. You're going to get this done right the first time. And I don't let my people fail. So you pick up the phone, give me a call. My number's on the thumbnail of this video, so is my website, and we'll talk soon.